This happens to be a 1/2 inch. And the wood that I use, I purchase in larger pieces. Actually, it comes by, I think it's 12 by 12 on these. 12 feet by 12 feet, and it has to be cut up. So I asked them to cut up on quarters, and then I can take it in my car, bring it home. They do, you can actually get these by mail too. This here happens to be wood that I like to use. It's plywood, but there, you see there's several plies here, and it keeps going. The grain will go one way and then the other way, so it's very strong wood. And even plywood, even 1/4 inch plywood is very strong. In fact, I have used it clear down to 1/32 of an inch plywood, which is amazing that they can get it that thin. But here's some work that I've done, and you may not be able to see it, but those are there's 3 plies there, and they call it Baltic plywood, or it comes from the Scandinavians. Actually started using it this way, but they do some very fine work in that. Now this is a little bookmark that I've made, and it's 1/32 of an inch, so and it's plywood. It's surprisingly strong on the other thing that you need to have. I didn't have one at first, and I find that it's a great asset. Is the sander, and you can buy a sander rather cheap too. This just a small sander when you're doing on bench work that I like to work with, and it polishes up your work, and you can correct any little errors that have been made in it. Well, this is a 3-dimensional work with the scroll saw. You get a piece of wood that's solid like this, then you can put the pattern on one side and cut out around it, and then you turn it to the 1/4 way around and do it the other direction here. Then when you take it all apart, here we go. You get pieces of it that are from different directions. You finally wind up with this in the center of it. We have our little brontosaurus. And you have a horse, and you have a reindeer. Well, as you can see, I still experiment. It's something that is intriguing, but it's not much to look at. But it's fun to do a little experimental work. And this is certainly an experimental work as far as I'm concerned. I had never seen it before.
I'm Betty Boyd, and my husband Howard is the one that does all this beautiful woodwork. And I have a picture here of the Grand Canal and the bridge that goes over it. And he made a clock of that bridge on our mantle.
This is the Eiffel Tower, of course, and it has quite a meaning for me, especially because I was in World War II, and I was one of the ones that got into Paris while things were still going on. We actually were camped in the gardens about 12 miles from Paris. I wanted to go into Paris and see the Eiffel Tower among everything else there, and we were restricted from getting on any army vehicles and going into Paris. They wanted to have it strictly for the French. But three of us from where I was wanted to get in and see the Eiffel Tower. So we hitchhiked in, and it turns out that I went in on a bicycle. The Frenchman, he very definitely wanted me to ride with him. Of course, I gave him a carton of cigarettes in order to do it. But he pedaled me all the way into Paris, and we landed right at the Eiffel Tower. Quite a thrill for me. The Eiffel Tower work that I did here, they had a larger scale model, so I had to reduce the model. Actually, it was Italians that had the model, and I got the plans for it, and then reduced it because it was almost twice as tall as it's shown in this. I just wanted a model of it. One time we took a trip on the Mississippi River in the riverboat, and of course I was interested in it. When I saw this plan that was available, I decided to make this one. This is not exactly what we sailed on. This one would sink to the bottom quickly, but it was similar to the boat. And riverboat going up the Mississippi was a fun trip. That this gives us nice memories on it. Actually, we went with a group from the little theater, the Schoolhouse Theater, and it turned out to be just an exceptionally nice vacation. The boat itself was what I made after I got back, and then we had a little party and I showed them the boat, the people that were on the trip. So it was, it takes quite a while to build things like this, but they're all worthwhile. This picture is connected with the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel has all of the family on it, but the ticket takers are pictures of Betty and me. Well, the Ferris wheel was made for our 60th anniversary, and the clock that is sitting in now is for our 50th anniversary, which took a lot of time to put that clock together, but I think I did it in about 3 months. But we had the whole family up, and it was a lot of fun. This is also from just a catalog of pictures of different things that you could make. I was intrigued by it. It's one of the ones that they feel that if you make this, you're really into scroll work. And they were right. I was into scroll work for quite a while here, but I did it in about 3 months, and it off and on working. I never worked very long anyway, but it's better to just wait until you feel up to it and then go back to it again. And anyway, it's a great hobby. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would recommend it to anyone. And you can start as simply as we want to. Or this little wagon here was one of my early deal, and everybody likes it. And I really think it's a nice piece of work, and it doesn't take long at all for those. gave those out for Christmas presents to a lot of people. Oh, I take care of Christmas this way. For instance, this butterfly up here, I must have made 50 of those and given them away to neighbors when they go to move, and Christmas presents, and just anything. I had this whole wall covered with them, and this is the only one left. This work is called marquetry, and I got interested in that on a trip to Europe and going down to the Italian Naples area, and there was a factory down there that made the marquetry work. And so when I came home, I wanted to try it myself. And these are done by using the grains of the wood and the color of the wood to make your picture. I can't say that I designed it, because I did have the picture to work with. They told you that you could do it that way. And when we talk about the rest of it, this one here is more or less the same type of work over there. The two at the bottom here were the ones that I purchased while I was in Italy, and they do it the same way, except that they were able to touch it up a little more with actually doing some painting in it. But the true marquetry doesn't have any of the painting in it. But I enjoyed making those, and these are the only marquetry work that I've done. But they turned out pretty well, and one of these days maybe I'll try again. This is one I made several years ago. It's actually a pattern that the Italians put out, and all the directions and all the information about it was in Italian. I had to have help in having it interpreted for me, but it turned out pretty nicely. I put in the statue of the Merlin, or whoever it is, and this is a medicine cabinet that they designed for scroll work, and it's it really says up here anyway, it's a medicine cabinet. The work down below, this is a type of work that I did, and I gave several of this type of work to for Christmas presents and all. It's rather interesting. I made the table for our use, and it's very handy here, and it's a good sturdy table, and I think that it's a well designed plan.